session number 1 of lesson number 2, nutrition in animals. About nutrition we have learned in last chapter. The name of last chapter is nutrition in plants, that we have seen. So let me repeat what I mean by nutrition. Nutrition is the mode of taking food by an organism and its utilization by the body. So this nutrition is very important, as it in plant is important in animals too. So you have learned in chapter 1 that plants can prepare their own food by the process of photosynthesis, but animals cannot. Yes, we know it, how the plants can prepare their own food and what are the raw material they require for the process of photosynthesis. But animals cannot prepare their own food as there is absence of chlorophyll. We have discussed that all the things in the previous chapter. Animals get their food from plants, either directly by eating plants or indirectly by eating animals that eat plants. We know that whatever we are talking about the animals, these animals are specially based or depend on plants for the food purpose, and some animals that depend on plants indirectly by eating the animals who eat the plants, means they eat the plants. Some animals, we can say, they eat the food from the plants, and some animals eat the food from the other animals. Okay, some animals eat both plants and animals. See, we sometimes say that animals eat plant, sometimes we say that animal eat the other animals, and some animals can eat both the plants also and animals also. Recall that all organisms including human require food for growth, repair and functioning of the body. Then why it is necessary to eat the food? We should recall it. We have learned it somewhere that while eating the food we are getting the energy. Whatever food we eat, from that we get the our growth increases, it repair if we fall somewhere. So whatever the injuries are there, that injuries also can be cleared, can be repaired, and whatever the functioning of the body, that also takes place, that also conducted very superiorly by getting the energy from the food. So here we can understand there's a lot of importance for the nutrition. Okay, animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement. See, now we are talking about nutrition animals. So this animal nutrition includes nutrient requirement, mode of intake of food, how we take that or how the animal take that food, and its utilization in the body. Whatever food is taken by the body of the animals, how it is utilized, so that also we have to think. Okay, you have studied in class 6 that food consists of many components. Try to recall and list them below. In study 6 we have seen food consists of the many components. Which are the components that components we are going to list here? Can you recall it? Just think over it. See, you can prepare the list also. Food contain the various components such as carbohydrate, proteins, fats, minerals, vitamins. So many of the components are present in food. The components of food such as carbohydrates are complex substances. These complex substances cannot be utilized as such, so they are broken down into simpler substances. The breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. We know that food contains various components, and out of that the carbohydrate is one of the component, which is the complex one. It's a complex substance, and this complex substance cannot be utilized as it is. It should be converted into the simpler substance, and the breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. Now, like I told, food contains various components, and the breakdown of these complex components of food into simpler substance is called digestion. Here you can prepare the definition also. That is what is meant by digestion. Define digestion. You'll understand that. The definition will be the breakdown of complex components. Complex means what? It's difficult to digest. Okay, breakdown means just to convert into simple substance. The breakdown of complex components of food into simpler substances is called digestion. Okay, so this was about the just as the introduction part of the lesson, and now we are going to start the first point of the lesson, 2.1, different ways of taking food. Different ways of taking food. The mode of taking food into the body varies in different organisms. We know that there are variety of organisms are present in the nature, and every organism's mode of taking food is different. Here some of the examples are given that we'll discuss. Bees and hummingbirds suck the nectar of plants. We know the bees and hummingbirds. What they do? They suck the nectar of plants. Infants of human. Infant means what? Small babies. Okay. Infants of human and many other animals feed on mother's milk. If we compare bees and hummingbird, their mode of taking the food is different. And infants of human and other animals, they depend on the mother's milk. So their mode of taking food is different. Not only this, we have more examples. Snakes like pythons swallow the animals they prey upon. Some examples of such a category is snake. One of the category of the snake, example python. What the python do? Python swallow the animal. Directly it swallow the animal, and after that they digest it. Some aquatic animals filter tiny food particles floating nearby and feed upon them. See, some of the aquatic animals, they filter the tiny food particles floating nearby in the water, and upon that they complete their need of the food that they feed upon them. So here we can understand that mode of taking of the food of each kind of animal is different. Mode of taking of food is different for different animal. Now let me see the activity number 2.1. What is the type of food and mode of feeding of the animals? Write down your observations in the given table. You can see the table, it is on your screen. Table 2.1, various modes of feeding, where we have to fill. Actually the names of the animals are given. We have to fill the kind of food and mode of feeding. So here the observations we have to fill. We have to write the kind of food and mode of feeding. Okay. You may find the list of modes of feeding given below. The table it's helpful. Below the table you can see the various modes of feedings are given. Just we have to select it and we have to put it into the table. Before that, let me tell you, whatever I am reading now, that is table 2.1. Write this table in your notebook. Complete it. Okay. The name of the animal, first column, second column, kind of food, and the third column, that is the mode of feeding. So the various names of animals are given. Kind of food you have to write, and you have to write the mode of feeding. This is your homework, I can say. The first name of the animal given, snail. Write there which kind of food snail eats. To understand it, you can ask it to your parents also, and if parents don't know about it, you can search on the internet. Okay, what the snail eat. Then mode of feeding. How the snail eats the food, means what is the view, that it chews, it suck the food, or anything else. The next one, ant. What kind of food ant eat, and what is the mode of feeding of the ant. The next one, eagle. What kind of food is eaten by eagle, and what is the mode of feeding of eagle. The next one, hummingbird. is the name of animal, what kind of food is eaten by the hummingbird, and what is the mode of feeding. Next lies mosquitoes, butterfly, and housefly. Okay, so these all animals names are given. You have to write the kind of food, and you have to select the mode of feeding, which is given at the below of the table. They are given scraping, chewing, then siphoning, capturing and swallowing, sponging and sucking. So this mode of feeding you can select and you can put it in the table. Okay, just complete it. Now we are going to the next page, that is the page number 12. One amazing fact they have given that you can see on the screen. This amazing fact, actually it's a example of the starfish. Starfish feeds on animals covered by hard shells of calcium carbonate. Starfish eating the animals which are covered with the hard shells of calcium carbonate. Means which animals have the cover of the calcium carbonate, or which animal have the its hard shells are made up of calcium carbonate. It is the food of starfish, or that food is eaten by the starfish. So what they do actually, first they open the shell. The starfish pops out its stomach. The stomach of the starfish pops out, it comes out through its mouth to eat the soft animal inside the shell. In that shell, whatever animal is that is actually eaten by the stomach, and then the stomach then goes back into the body and the food is slowly is digested. Means it's a very amazing, it's a very different method than other animals. Starfish opens its stomach, the stomach comes out from its mouth at the outside. There the stomach directly eat that animal without shell. The shell is removed and the animal is eaten by that starfish stomach, and then the stomach comes back into the body. So this is a very amazing fact. There you can see on the in the figure 2.1, the figure is given about the starfish. Okay, in this way today we have started the lesson. Name is the nutrition in animals. This lesson is about taking the different ways of the food actually, and we are going to learn many more things. Just complete the table given in the lesson, and along with this focus to frame the questions. Frame the questions as possible. More questions you have to frame, and along with that I hope that you have completed the last homework of lesson number 1. Only few of the students they have shown it on the WhatsApp, they have sent you to just complete it in your notebook, and the confirmation you can send me on WhatsApp. There will see that. Okay, the remaining part of the lesson we will see at the next session. Thank you.